This video will focus on time dealing with start time unknown. Now in third grade, you worked on solving time problems like end time unknown, start time unknown, elapsed time within 60 minutes. You could cross over an hour, like it might say you left the house at 10:40 and you got home at 11:15. How long were you gone? That is still within 60 minutes, but you could cross an hour. So now in fourth grade, what you're going to do is you are actually going to go over an hour with elapsed time. Okay, and you can also go over the 12 a.m., the 12 p.m. So you got to really pay attention to that too to make sure you get that correct. Sometimes you can have problems that have clocks in there and you have to be able to tell the time. There is a video if you need it to be able to study up on and practice telling time to the nearest minute. So if you need that, you might want to work on that some. This problem doesn't have anything like that, but you still may want to work on that some. All right, so we are going to look at this problem and we're going to use the 3-read strategy when we solve it. Okay, so the 3-read strategy focuses in on reading a problem 3 times. First time you read it to know what is going on and what numbers. Then you look at with no numbers. You don't mention anything about numbers. You just kind of summarize what's going on. Then you really focus in on the numbers, and then the last time you focus in on what the question is asking. So let's read this word problem. Now I would urge you that read this on your own as much as you can. As a fourth grader, you should be reading word problems on your own. But if you are struggling, think about taking it one sentence at a time, drawing pictures. And if that still does not help, then definitely reach out to somebody else that can help you. So it says, Carlos left home and drove 3 hours and 35 minutes to another town. He arrived at his destination at 2:15 p.m. All right, so we're not going to focus on the question right now, so I'm just going to stop there. So what's going on here? Well, what's going on is that Carlos has left home and he's going somewhere. Okay, that's pretty much what happened. Carlos left home, he went somewhere. You can see how I did not focus in or worry about any numbers at this point. The next part is to read it and focus in on the numbers and the relationship of the numbers. So Carlos left home and drove 3 hours and 35 minutes to another town. He arrived at his destination at 2:15 p.m. All right, so let's kind of take some notes on that. Let's come down here and let's say we know that Carlos, he went somewhere, okay? And he arrived at his destination at 2:15 p.m. That PM can be very important. So we want to keep that in mind. We also know that he drove for 3 hours and 35 minutes. Okay, so that's important information. So now let's go back and read it and let's focus on what the question's asking. Carlos left home and drove 3 hours and 35 minutes to another town. He arrived at his destination at 2:15. What time did he leave his house? All right, so if we know he left home and he arrived somewhere at 2:15, and the question's asking what time did he get back to his house, we kind of got to go backwards, okay? So we're going to go back 3 hours and 35 minutes. So there's 2 different ways you can do this, and I'm sure you saw this in third grade. You can use a number line, which we're going to do first, and then you can use like a T-chart or a table, and we'll look at that second. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to use an open number line, okay? And so I'm first going to represent 2:15 p.m. here, okay? And what I'm going to do is, remember, I'm going to count back 3 hours. Now, you can count back 3 hours, like 3 1 hours if you want, or you could count back a 2 and then a 1. I'm going to go ahead and count back 1 hour at a time, so minus 1 hour, minus another hour, and then I'm going to minus another hour. So that would, if it's 2:15, this is going to be 1:15 still p.m. And then this is going to be 12:15 still the p.m. But then this is going to be 11:15, but it's going to be a.m. because remember, once we cross over 12, we have to switch back and forth from a.m. to p.m. It's going to be very important, so make sure you're paying attention to that. Now, we've worked on the 3 hours. Now we got to take away 35 minutes, okay? Well, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and try to get to 11 o'clock. So I'm going to minus 15 minutes here. And that's going to get me to 11. Still a.m. now. Now, if I think about that, if I'm thinking about 35 minutes and I take away 15 minutes, that leaves me with 20 minutes. Now I have to really think to myself, it's 11 o'clock, so when I'm counting back, it's going to be 10 something. So I could go back 10 minutes at a time if I need to. I'm going to put M for 10 minutes. I'm going to extend my line here and another 10 minutes. So this would be 10:50 a.m. and this would be 10:40 a.m. So what time did Carlos leave? He left his house at 10:40 a.m. You want to go back and check your work. I took away 3 hours. I took away 15 minutes, and then I took away to 25 to 35 minutes. Some people may decide to go ahead and take away, like 30 minutes here and go to 10:45 and then take the 5 minutes. That's fine. As long as you get the correct answer, it can definitely look different ways. So now let's look at it if we are doing it with a T-chart. So it is 2:15 p.m. and we want to find out what time we left. So we're going to start taking away. This is going to be the time that we're taking away. We're going to take away our time on this side. So if I go from 2:15, we're doing p.m., and let's say I want to get to 12:15, which is still going to be p.m. I took away 2 hours. Okay, I minus 2 hours there. All right, now, but remember, we still got to take away 3 hours, so I got to take away another hour. So 12:15 to 1:15, taken away to 11:15 would then be a.m. This was p.m. So that would be minus 1 hour. So now I have taken away my 3 hours, but I have to take away the 35 minutes now. So just to kind of show a different way, I could go from 11:15 to 10:45. Both of those are a.m. and know that that's 30 minutes. And then now I can take away my final 5 minutes. So 10:45 minus 5 minutes, to 10:40 would be 5 minutes. So you can see I've taken away 3 hours and 35 minutes, which would put me at 10:40 a.m., the time that Carlos left the house. So you are now going to be working on solving some time problems with the start time unknown. So you can use this, go back and watch it, rewind it, stop it as you need to. And remember, you can use the 3-read strategy to help you comprehend your word problem.